Good evening and welcome to ETS News 29. I am Swara Garel.
And I'm Penelope Grant. Our top story tonight is Shrewsbury High School has been named a champion school.
Shrewsbury High School recently became named a unified champion school and received a banner presented by the Special Olympics. The presentation of the banner held place in the SHS Fieldhouse after school on November 19th.
Being named a unified champion school is good for both the students on the unified basketball team and the unified track team, as well as everyone in SHS as a whole. In the Fieldhouse, we have Malcolm Njago with more on this news.
This is Malcolm Njago from ETS News. Today is a great day for Shrewsbury High School, for the unified team is being recognized by the Special Olympics for being a unified champion school.
The banner was made to display how the high school has accomplished 3 of the requirements needed to become a unified champion school. It also helps the school with publicity, and it shows the openness for people with special needs. These teams will be all-inclusive sports teams made up of individuals with special needs who may not be able to compete in a competitive sports team. Students without intellectual disabilities are given the opportunity to work together as leaders and advocate for inclusion and promote unified activities within the school and throughout the community. By asking many students to come out and support the unified team during their basketball games and track meets, SHS is able to demonstrate a whole school engagement.
So Theodore Ceccheroni, why are you participating in unified sports?
I think unified sports provides a great opportunity for kids who might not normally have that opportunity to be on a team, meet new friends, and overall I just think it's a really great experience that everyone can participate in.
Out of the 16 schools in Massachusetts, SHS is being named a unified champion school by the Special Olympics. The banner was risen on Tuesday, November 19th in the gymnasium after a fantastic game with both the current members of the team as well as alumni played a game of basketball. The banner is currently able to be viewed as the entrance to SHS Gymnasium. The school and all those involved are given goals to become a better, more unified school.
To get the banner, Shrewsbury had to meet the 3 components: youth leadership, whole school engagement, and unified sports. Ms. Wallace, the unified advisor, describes how Shrewsbury has met these components.
So there were 10 standards that we had to meet, and we had to, they were encompassing within 3 overarching components, which were youth leadership, whole school engagement, inclusive sports. Some of those examples were we had to have 2 unified teams, so we have unified basketball and unified track. We also had to have whole school engagement piece, so the Spread the Word to End the Word campaign is an example of how we reach whole school engagement, as well as youth leadership, so students with and without disabilities leading some sort of inclusive youth leadership around Shrewsbury High School. So we have a unified Twitter page, and a lot of students with and without disabilities will make announcements and try to get people to come to different events, and so that's kind of taking that leadership opportunity within the school.
The unified basketball team is established in Shrewsbury High School back in 2013, over 6 years ago today. During each unified basketball game, there are 2 halves consisting of 25 minutes each. The unified team, like the basketball team, is another team made up of individuals who have special needs who are not able to run for competitive teams. The running events are similar to the competitive team. The events are the 100 meters, 200 meters, 4x2 relay, 6-mile run, and the 12-mile run.
I really think that personally I've gained a lot of characteristics that I might not otherwise have gained. I feel like unified sports really teaches you how to be compassionate, how to be empathetic, how to be a good leader and a listener to other kids who you might not normally get the chance to meet.
Awesome. And one last thing, what type of activities have you been involved with?
Not only unified basketball and track, we also have a unified club here at the high school, which I'm a part of, and it really just keeps the momentum going on that same unified respect, inclusion theme that we have at the high school.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. It's been a great day for Shrewsbury Unified Basketball. Shrewsbury is now being recognized as the unified champion school.
Thanks, Malcolm. This was a greatest event for everyone at SHS.
With midterms right around the corner, many students are beginning to prepare for these tests. There is one new change to the weighting of these exams, with the new change to percentages for midterms. Things for the school have changed. With more on this story, Janella Pasquariello.
Midterms are coming up soon and Shrewsbury High School is getting ready. With a new change in midterms percentages, students and teachers will be going through changes in the way they prepare. This change will be affecting the whole school. At Shrewsbury High School this year, midterms will be held on January 16th, 17th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. The change from 20% to 10% was made in the spring of 2019 by the Leadership Committee, which includes the head of all the departments, the 4 assistant principals, and the principal, Mr. Basilio. This change was made in hopes to reduce the stress of students. Students have favorable reactions toward these changes.
Most classes usually give a packet that you have to finish, but other classes just make you study vocab words.
Midterms are necessary to get students prepared for the exam atmosphere and setting. This also allows teachers to compare scores between their students and the other classes. They can determine which classes exceeded and which classes did not, with certain types of questions which will allow teachers to evaluate and improve their teaching style.
How does
students'
the percentage
overall
change
semester
affect
grades will
students'
change
grades?
due to this decision.
So in the past, midterms and finals were weighted anywhere between 10 and 20% of the student's final grade. Now, across all departments, they're weighted at 10%. So in some departments, that means that midterms weigh less now than they used to.
Students have a lot on their plate during midterms because they have to remember and review all the information they have learned in every class. Because midterms were such a high percentage, it was important for students to make no mistakes on their tests. However, now that the change has been made, students will be able to take this test with less stress. The leadership team took advice in making the decision for this change.
This past year about midterms and the percent weights. So we take in feedback from students and from teachers and process that as a group and try to make the best determination that we think not only measures students' level of understanding of material, but also works to create an environment that's manageable.
The change in percentages is expected to improve the atmosphere and mental health of the SHS community. We can't wait to see the results. This is Janela Pasquariello reporting for ETS News 29. Back to you in the studio.
Tonight, we bring you our second edition on our news segment on health and wellness. There are many new initiatives here at the high school where students and faculty are trying to improve their overall well-being.
With more on this new initiatives, here is Aditi Venkarswan with information on this topic.
Because if they see the assembly, they're like, oh, that's really cool, I want to try something like that.
So when we do tricks.
And then with mindfulness, we start to kind of pull back, be able to look at our experience more and see what's actually going on.
Just something's going to say a quick hi.
That's stimulated from just hearing something.
Hearing or feeling or seeing.
That help with kids alleviate stress and find some wellness and some happiness during their school.
Hello Shrewsbury, this is Aditi Venkateshwaran with ETS News 29's Health and Wellness segment. During this segment, we will talk about wellness within the Shrewsbury community. New initiatives have recently been taken to improve the conditions of Shrewsbury mental and physical health. But first, let's define what wellness even means. According to Google, wellness is defined as, quote, the state of being in good health, especially as an actively pursued goal, end quote. In the past years, surveys in school have been conducted to obtain data on stress and mental health for students in the Shrewsbury community. Based on the results of these surveys, new initiatives are to be taken in order to improve students' mental and emotional well-being. A recent survey helped gain some perspective on the effectiveness of these new initiatives. According to the survey, many students found that these new initiatives are in fact helpful, and a common favorite are the no homework weekends. Students explain how it gives them a break from having work and a way to free their minds. Although many argue that the teachers do follow the guidelines for no homework weekends, those who disagree complain of their teachers assigning a large project or assignment due 2 days after the break. These no homework weekends are part of a greater revision of the homework policy. Here's Mr. Lane, Director of Physical Education, Health, Family, and Consumer Sciences to elaborate on this topic.
What are other initiatives that are being worked on for the future?
So I talked about a few, but we've also, I know that we just had our first homework-free weekend, We're looking forward to our second one at Thanksgiving break. I think it was wildly popular. I think we still need to work through some of the logistical issues with teachers and curriculum to be able to make that more successful. But I think that we're going to have the Wellness Week again, and we're always going to look at ways that we can have kids find strategies to help them through some stressful situations in high school.
Thank you, Mr. Lane. With more information on the overarching homework policy revision, here is Sienna Haddad.
On February 3rd, 2002, the New England Patriots won their first Super Bowl in what seemed like an eternity ago. And that same year, almost 18 years ago, Shrewsbury Public Schools had altered and changed their homework policies, but has remained untouched until recently. Responses to student surveys have indicated that the amount of homework is bringing on a healthy amount of stress for students. Teachers and students together have decided it's time to make a change here at SHS. Right now, there are set rules of how much homework can be given to students from grades 1st to 8th, but for the high school, there is no limit to the work that can be given. It had been encouraged to teachers to take into consideration the time frame of all assignments and student needs. Overall, students are responsible for managing their time and activities to fit their homework needs. Many students find this to be a challenge. Faculty members have brought up many ideas on how to fix the homework policy at SHS that is aimed to lessen stress on students and can quite possibly affect every person involved in the Shrewsbury Public School District. Assistant Amy Clowder is currently reviewing the homework policy for the district. With her, we discussed the changing homework policy.
Well, it became a strategic priority when we looked at student data. Kids were telling us that they were really stressed, and when we asked why they were stressed, homework came up as a top reason. It wasn't the only reason, but it was a really important consideration. The other piece is that we've also heard from families. So some of our data that we've collected from the community has indicated that as things get busier in terms of after-school programming, the different choices that kids have in terms of whether they participate in sports or robotics or extracurriculars, and the demands of having kids at more than one level, all makes homework a very stressful experience for parents, too.
The current homework policy for grades 1st to 8th are grade 1, 15 minutes of homework, grade 2, 20 minutes of homework, grade 3, 30 minutes, and so on. But for grades 6 to 8, the time frame is 60 to 90 minutes. The amount of homework increases as a student moves up levels of schooling. Adding on to what we discussed with Amy Clowder, we invited a junior athlete, Kayla O'Leary, to talk about her experience with homework.
I know a lot of students end up staying late, studying for tests or doing homework, so then they come in the next day tired, and then that just has an impact on their school day.
Homework at the high school has not been limited, but in order to lessen stress, Mr. Bazidlo enforced no homework weekends. These two no homework weekends are not a part of the homework policy, but the weekends permit teachers from assigning their students homework, excluding all AP students. Likewise, many homework professionals, such as the homework lady, Kathy Vatterott, and Miss Amy Clowder, have traveled to the high school to help educate parents and students about homework. For now, homework professionals and teachers are not sure what exactly is going to be changed in the policy here at the high school. They also are unaware of when the policy changes will be complete, but they are sure what their goal is. It's to find a happy medium between giving too much homework and not enough homework so that students won't be overwhelmed but not undertaught. Overall, SHS is currently working on the homework policy, and this change will hopefully lessen stress for all students.
Thank you, Sienna. This revised homework policy is a great way for students to improve their mental health. Another popular initiative includes mindfulness and meditation sessions. James Frank's mindfulness sessions are of particular interest to both students and adults in the town. Let's take a look.
How do people feel now in terms of when we got here versus anything? It feels just like a little bit different. I feel a little calmer, a little more relaxed, more in the zone. You know, there's just this constant like narration of what's happening. It's good, it's bad. I like this person, I don't like this person. This is what this means, and blah blah blah.
This is a great way to decrease stress within the Shrewsbury community. Here's Arun Loganathan exploring the topic of mindfulness.
High school can be one of the most stressful times in a student's life. This year at Shrewsbury Public Schools, we introduced a mindfulness program in order to relieve stress for students around Shrewsbury and improve their mental health.
So what exactly is mindfulness? According to Headspace, a popular website used for teaching mindfulness, mindfulness is the quality of being present and fully engaged with whatever we're doing at the moment, free from distraction or judgment, and aware of our thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. In other words, mindfulness helps students relieve their minds from any distractions, stress, anxiety, and other emotions, proving that mindfulness can help improve students' overall mental health. Math teacher Miss Drita uses this app to start her math classes each day. We asked James Frank, the director of mindfulness, what his views on mindfulness were. Here's what he had to say.
Obviously, I'm a big believer in the power of mindfulness, and especially the power of mindfulness for young people. I started meditating when I was 15 and kind of started this whole journey of really asking this question, it's like, what's going to really make me happy in life, right? Like what's going to support me to actually get connected to a real authentic sense of happiness. And really I was curious about finding ways to reduce my levels of stress, reduce the sort of pain and confusion that comes from just being a high schooler, right? And so you can think of mindfulness as this incredible tool to really ask the question, like, what really leads to happiness?
Although some may argue that mindfulness does not help and is pointless, many believe that it is needed and can help students greatly. Mindfulness helps us control our emotions, decrease stress, anxiety, and depression. According to needtoday.org, 70% of high school students think that anxiety and depression are a major problem among their peers, so applying mindfulness to everyday life can help students calm down and find ways to control emotions, also helping students stop these feelings of depression or anxiety. Some people also wonder what mindfulness helps with. Mentalhealth.org, a website that enlightens people about mental health and mindfulness, says, mindfulness is an integrative, mind-body-based approach that helps people to manage their thoughts and feelings and mental health. Basically, mindfulness helps us de-stress and helps students to open up their minds to other things of the present. Dr. Lizotte, Assistant Superintendent for Community Partnerships and Well-Being, talks about this program and how it was introduced in the school and how it helps people.
Staff are offered opportunities here at the high school to participate in a mindfulness class. Also, additionally, we have parent classes that take place on Monday and Friday mornings and afternoons. And I know that there are approximately 25 parents right now taking advantage of those opportunities, and we are receiving positive feedback that they too want to be the best people they can be. We all do. And providing people with opportunities, different opportunities to be healthy and happy and strong is what I believe that's one of our most important responsibilities as a school district.
Mindfulness can be practiced anywhere. It doesn't require anything special. All you need is your mind and somewhere calming. Mindfulness can give a break to students, faculty, and anyone who practices it from the non-stop stress of life. Without realizing it, many of us don't take a break due to all that's going on in our lives. Mindfulness can be practiced anytime, anywhere, as long as you are in a safe, calming environment where you can just relieve your thoughts, feelings, and emotions without worry. Some people may think that mindfulness and meditation are the exact same thing, but there are so many more ways to practice mindfulness without meditation. Meditation is just one of the many ways to practice mindfulness. Some other ways to practice mindfulness are eating, walking, or even just breathing.
Mindfulness is a practice of being aware. It supports SHS students and staff by giving them a break from the stress of their everyday life. Mindfulness is easy to practice. You should give it a try. This is Ethan Suttinger reporting for ETS News 29. Back to you.
Thank you, Arun. There are certain committees that help with creating such policies and initiatives to help support students' well-being in the Shrewsbury community. One such committee is SWAG, which is composed of a group of students and faculty who come together to help create such initiatives. A member of this club, Xavier Milner, joins us to share some of the club's ideas and measures taken to help student wellness.
Previously said, we try to find ways to advocate for mental health within the student body. I think our biggest thing is our Wellness Week, where we basically take a week to try and educate people on different ways to focus on their mental health and improve it.
Thank you, Xavier. In conclusion, health and wellness are very important to a student's development. From the new homework policies to mindfulness sessions to committees that create new plans to reduce stress and increase students' well-being, there is a lot being done to try and improve health and wellness for students. Thank you for joining me for this edition of Health and Wellness. I'm Aditi Venkateshwaran. Back to you, Swara.
With a focus growing on school shootings, both concern and discussion and gun violence has increased, let's take a look on how students here at SHS feel about this topic and what the administration is doing. With more, here's Kiran Baga.
Many students across America worry about the idea of a school shooting. Within 2019, there have been over 300 mass shootings within the United States. The United States has been flooding with news stories about school shootings. Naturally, students are exposed to the constant media coverage. We spoke to students about if they were concerned about the possibility of gun violence occurring here at Shrewsbury High School.
I'm concerned, and it's something I think about a lot.
Not too much. I think we're more or less in the clear of areas that would happen near.
After seeing constant news coverage about school shootings, has that impacted you personally?
It hasn't impacted my daily life, but I do have anxiety, so I guess it stresses me out a lot.
A little bit. It makes me more worried about it sometimes.
After the Columbine High School shooting, the ALICE method was developed to keep students safe. ALICE stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, Evacuate. We asked students if they thought an active shooter drill would be a good fit for Shrewsbury High School.
I think that it could be helpful.
I just don't know how we would fit it in the schedule since that's something that would require a lot of organization.
I think it would definitely be a better idea to put that into place than the current procedures that the school has.
The administration of a school has a key role in the protection of its students. Safety precautions, drills, and day-to-day routines are all run by them. The school administration actually works side by side with the Shrewsbury Police Department. In order to clarify concerns and get more information about how the administration protects its students, we talked to Principal Bazidlo and Officer Hester, who is the school resource officer. But in the case of a school shooting, are students going into lockdown, or is the school joining others in using a gun safety drill?
We've spent a significant amount of money this year kind of hardening our exterior and adding technology within the building and working towards to be able to lock all doors with a push of the button.
Our Shrewsbury School is looking at different types of emergency procedures for the future.
So we're always looking at other options, but for right now, we feel that the actual lockdown procedures are what's best for our school at this point.
School shootings stay a relevant topic. The school administration at SHS is taking action to protect its students. Students themselves are aware of the danger and importance of this issue. This is Kiran Baga reporting for ETS News. Back to you in the studio.
A brand new math course was recently made for freshman students at SHS. This course is intriguing in terms of what it offers for students, how newly developed it is, and how different it is from courses that have been taught for in the past few years.
We go to Priyanka Gopalarathinam to hear more on this story.
The incoming freshman class of 2023 has been given an opportunity to study an advanced math course that benefits them more than a typical honors math course offered at SHS. This course is called Algebra/Geometry 2 and Advanced Math Honors. Freshmen who aren't being challenged in regular and honors level math classes are taking this course. This course was made by the math department and the administration. There are 2 classes each. Mrs. Noel and Miss Dancy McKenna are the teachers. These classes are being taught 1st and 6th periods of the day at the moment.
We are kind of combining 2 courses into one. It is a much faster paced course because we do have to go through 2 course curriculum. However, based on what we found in the past, that there is a group of students who is able to keep up with that pace and still develop a solid foundation.
The course challenges people who aren't challenged in honors and regular courses, and was made to challenge students on mathematical abilities. Students work towards learning the material in a faster pace by participating in frequent group work and class discussions. Students are expected to perform well in the algebra course offered in 8th grade, and with permission, they are allowed into this course. The overall prerequisite for this course is to strengthen skills learned from Algebra 1. The curriculum is different from the honors course, Algebra/Geometry 1 Honors. The advanced class involves detailed analysis of concepts and covering material that is needed for students to take honors pre-calculus and has a faster learning pace.
So it does cover the curriculum from the Honors AG2 and the Honors Advanced Math 1 courses. It is mainly focused on the Honors Advanced Math 1 curriculum, so we typically have like 8 units and then fill it in with some things from Honors AG2 that's not come up. So we go from linear programming to quadratic functions to trigonometry to geometric proofs and have a wide variety of topics.
How do you and other freshman students feel about this math course? This math course, it's really fast-paced, and it's better if you have a basic understanding of the topics before taking it, because we don't spend too much time actually learning it in class, but more applying it.
Okay. With the problems that have square roots, it won't always be where 0.
About 50 students are taking this course right now. The course is known for its fast pacing and entails a large amount of self-studying from students. This course allows for passing students to take honors pre-calculus the successive year if they prefer to do so. The criteria is to earn an 80 or above as the first semester grade and to complete 2 math courses in the time span of 1 school year on the ALEX program. What kind of benefits does this course have in terms of helping students achieve in their mathematical abilities?
So basically, if you can manage to pass this class and get into pre-calc next year, you're going to be ahead of everyone else. And you're going to always be one step ahead. And in general, if you don't even pass this class, you'll still be one step ahead of the students if you take K1 next year too, because you're already going to know a lot of the course.
We wish the best of luck for students in this course. This is Priyanka Gopalaratnam reporting for ETS News 29. Back to you.
Ever since the rise of electronic devices, many people across the globe have become infatuated by their screens. This holds true to majority of students here at SHS.
Access to iPads and iPhones at school becomes a major distraction during class. With more on this, here is Sophia Zal.
Currently in 2019, 92% of people with less than a high school diploma owns a cell phone. These cell phones, along with iPads, allow teens to connect to vast areas of the world, giving them unlimited access to information. But many sources show that these devices have turned into a problem, both in teens' lives and in the classroom. In order to see if this data is true to Shrewsbury High School students, we collected some information online and conducted interviews with students and staff to observe the presence of electronic distractions at SHS. Common Sense Media, a nonprofit organization, collected data that teens spend about 7 hours and 22 minutes on the screen on average daily, not including academic screen time. We interviewed 2 math teachers here at SHS to hear their opinions.
And whatnot. I think that 7 hours seems like a little much, but I also know that that's counting time that maybe when we're in a classroom, when we're between classes, when we're taking it out to do something like a Quizlet or a Kahoot, when we're not on our iPads and use my phone instead.
I would say yes, and maybe it's even a low estimate, because I know that when they leave here, a lot of kids go home because they tell me, and they binge like Netflix or Hulu on their iPads. They play games. They just are social media stuff on their screens. So I could easily believe 7 or more hours.
Mm-hmm. We also interviewed students of different grades at Shrewsbury High School to find out their phone screen time and what keeps them entertained for that long.
Too many.
About 7 hours a day.
7 hours. I get text messages from people.
As we found, students do various things on their phones, and sometimes this distracts them while they are in class. These distractions, however, do not seem to affect test scores, but they still cause a problem in class. Teachers try to counteract this problem by using a simple method, such as Mrs. Joseph's.
iPads probably more so, because I usually tell them to put their phones away.
Or the teachers might do something more complex like Mrs. Moisen's method.
Luckily, cell phones have not become a distraction for my students this year, as I have a place for them to put them when they walk in. They've been really great about it, really respectful, which I really appreciate.
Both of these methods seem to work. It just depends on what the teacher prefers to use. Clearly, electronics are a major distraction in the classrooms at SHS, but also a good educational tool that helps students learn. In the end, whether it's an electronic or not, students will always find a way to get distracted. This is Sophia Zoll reporting for ETS News 29. Back to you in the studio.
Last month was a busy time for Shrewsbury High School Student Hint Council. They organized a supply drive with St. Anne's Food Pantry. This drive was a way to bring our school committee together.
With more, here is Kaylee O'Leary.
This year, Shrewsbury High School Student Council held a Thanksgiving supply drive to help those in need within our community. All students and faculty are encouraged to donate in order to participate in this drive. This year, it took place from November 18th to the 22nd. Student Council's slogan is #MeetingTheNeed, and they brought all the donations to St. Anne's Food Pantry in Shrewsbury. The donations were available for those in need to come and take. Sometimes the workers make baskets and hand them out to families in need. St. Anne's helps people get what they need when they can't get it themselves. We talked to Student Council advisor, Ms. Moisen, about why this year Student Council chose to do a supplies drive rather than a traditional food drive.
So last year and this year, St. Anne's requested that we send in supplies, not food. This time of year is a time when a lot of people are generous in giving, so they generally give food items, canned food, box food, etc. So St. Anne's last year and this year requested that we do household goods and personal items.
Along with talking to Ms. Moisen, we talked to Student Council historian Nicole Carademetrio on how she believes the drive brings our school's community together.
So I think it brings the school community together because it really gets everyone involved and we're all doing such nice things. And I think that most of the school gets to experience a Thanksgiving and they have most of the things that they need. And so we're really coming together as one school and helping others experience that too.
There are lots of different items students brought in order to participate in this drive. Some examples are toilet paper, paper towels, hairbrushes, laundry detergent, and soap. Overall, any sanitary items are requested for this drive. Some stores that are good places to shop at are grocery stores, Target, or Walmart. Although you can buy items in bulk, it would be more beneficial if items were individually wrapped. Every year, the supply drive is a class cup competition here at the school. The class cup competition is a competition among the 4 classes that starts at the beginning of the year, and the winner is revealed at the end of the Spring Spirit Rally. Nicole explained to us how the points work when bringing in supplies.
So class cup points are determined by each individually packaged item costs 1 class cup point. So let's say there's a pack of 4 toothbrushes all in the same package, that would still be 1 point even though there's 4 toothbrushes because you can't take them out and just individually hand someone a toothbrush, so that they all have to be individually packaged. So a good example would be individually wrapped Dove soap bars in 1 big box, then that would count as however many soap bars are on that box.
The Thanksgiving supply drive here at SHS was yet another success. This year, SHS was able to donate over 4,500 items. Every donation was used and given to someone in need. None of this would have been possible without the donations of everyone in the school and the organization of Student Council. This is Kayla O'Leary reporting for ETS News 29. Back to you.
Thanks, Kayla. Wreath making is a fun holiday activity that can really get someone in the winter spirit.
This year, SHS Outdoor Club took a fun craft and used it to help raise money. With more, here's Krish Bubba.
I'm here at an Outdoors Club meeting while they're making wreaths. This is an annual fundraiser for the club to do fun activities in the future. The Outdoors Club is a club that does activities as a group outside after school. They meet once a month in the winter and every other week in the good weather. This is their 2nd or 3rd year doing this fundraiser. The advisors are Mrs. Cobb and Mrs. Williams. They try and go apple picking every year. It's a regular activity they do. They go on walks as well. Members Will Spellman and Sam Walsh talk about why they joined the Outdoors Club.
I like doing activities and stuff outside. I also wanted to meet new people, so I get meet awesome people like Sam. That's why I joined.
Pretty cool.
We do everything, really. We go on walks from either around campus or we go out places. This year so far, we've gone apple picking, or we tried to. Got rained out, but it was hopeful. But yeah, we go on bike trips, hikes, the sorts.
25 members gathered in the art room to put together the wreaths. These 14-inch wreaths were made from fresh clippings. They decorated them with bows, dried orange slices, cranberries, and pine cones, plus fresh branches. The wreaths were sold to a staff at the high school. They were for $10 for an undecorated wreath and $15 for a decorated one. In total, 24 wreaths were made. Miss Cobb, co-advisor, is hoping to use the money for future activities.
It's an activity.
And last year we made wreaths for ourselves. It went really well, and so we decided to make it a fundraiser. We're going to do some activities with it. It's not that much money, so it'll be some local activity. We're thinking we might go maybe either kayaking or biking. Last year we went biking.
The money from this fundraiser helps to support the Outdoors Club with future activities in the spring and next fall. This fundraiser has brought in a lot of profit for the club. They earned $300 total. Kids are having a good time. This fundraiser was a great success. This is Krish Brewer reporting for ETS News 29. Back to you in the studio.
That's it for tonight's news report. Thank you for joining us here at ETS News 29. This is Penelope Grants.
Have a good night, everyone. This is Swara Gurao.